I'm now going to begin to start putting some of the lights in the vehicle, but before we do I need to actually plan this stage out fairly carefully. Now with some vehicles you can work from the bottom upwards, but this one I clearly will need to work from the top downwards, as managing all the wires and the LEDs in the right locations may cause a few problems. I'm going to start with this bit because at the front here we can see we've got a couple of small lights here which are just marked with bits of paint, and a few on the rear here, and we're going to see if we can actually illuminate those. Also, this will be the roof, so inside we'll probably put some interior lighting as well. I have drilled two small holes in the top of the windscreen through which I have threaded some 0402 white LEDs attached to wires. So the front lights have been fixed here and here. I use a small amount of epoxy resin, and I've also linked the cables, as you can see here, using a small amount of shrink wrap. Now I just need to test that they are actually still working. So we'll place them on a little bit of black so you can see the light. So let's have a look. Yep, all working as it should be. Lovely. On the rear of the vehicle are further lights which are printed onto the rear screen. This will present a little bit more of a challenge, and I should probably get around this one by using some light optic fibre. I've encased a red LED inside some plastic. Then I've added two pieces of light optic fibre. In this way only one bulb is required to actually make two lights. Here you can see how we've wired up some of the rear lights using light optic fibre. Here we have, if you like, the brake lights, and then the rear lights, and at the moment we've just got one indicator light here. By applying power to the LEDs we can see how the lights light up. So here we have, if you like, the rear lights and the brake lights, and here is the indicator light, or at least one of them. It is very bright at the moment, but we can tone that down either using glass paint, and the actual tubing still needs to be trimmed. For the interior lights I've taken a piece of self-adhesive copper tape and trimmed it back so I can actually create a series of 3 lights. So I've attached the white LEDs here, and I've used white ones for the interior, and we can just check the circuit by making sure that everything is connected properly. And there we can see how the lights light up. I will now cover this in a piece of clear sellotape. Having now lifted the strip very carefully, I've now placed it in the roof of the coach. Now we just need to sort out all these wires just to tidy them all up a bit at this stage. So as you can see, I've now tidied up the wiring somewhat and have largely completed the wiring of this part of the vehicle. The key wires which we need to connect to the DC05 chip are now separated out, ready to be connected when we need them. At the front there is just one wire which comes down from the small light switch at the top of the windscreen. A small amount of glass paint in red and orange has been added at the back just to give a little bit of colour to the ends of the light optic fibre. And now we're ready to insert it into the main body.